question from the economics or from the science, arts, whatever is your domain, everybody is having interest in this area. So before starting this session, just I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen is visible? Hello?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Is my screen is visible?
No, no, your skin is not visible, ma'am.
Just 1 minute. Is it visible now?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Now it is visible. Yes.
So, can I start?
Yes, ma'am. Of course.
Thank you. So the topic is now it's okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So the topic is publication misconduct. So the question is, what is publication and what is misconduct? Because once I am talking about the publication misconduct as a common term, that means it is basically relating to the publication relating misconduct. That means publication when we want to publish some work. That work could be of your research work, or that could be not a single thing. That's a combination of a research as well as publication. And if I say, because publication is not possible without research, without any work. So if I can say the publication misconduct, that means it is relating to the research publications where there are a lot of things are involved, like if somebody is sharing the information which is not correct, that means you are somewhere giving the wrong information and it's having the implications to the society. So this presentation, before starting this presentation, I would like to share with all, like in this presentation we are having the three quiz, and you can see here there is a quiz 1. There is identify the person. Second one is there is a flag of country, and the third one is a presentation of the wrong map is publication misconduct. तो यहाँ पे हमारा जो session है, that is the bilingual. So if you have any problem, you can ask, and I'm comfortable in both Hindi as well as English. There is no issue. And like जैसे मैंने बोला कि ये सेशन जो है हमारा, यहाँ पे हमने एक क्विज है. जिस क्विज में हमारे 3 क्वेश्चंस हैं. फर्स्ट वन इज देयर इज अ पर्सन जिनको आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है. सेकेंड वन देयर इज अ फ्लैग, तो वहां पे आपको बताना है कि ये फ्लैग यहाँ पे क्यों है, बिकॉज माई टॉपिक इज पब्लिकेशन मिसकंडक्ट. सो दैट मीन इट इज समवेयर रिलेटिंग टू दैट. तो ये हमारा वहां पे रिलेट करेगा. अनदर वन इज if I am talking कि somebody is representing the wrong map, so what they want to convey and what is the reason behind it, so that we need to find. So that is the 3 questions of this quiz, so that I will ask you in between. So can I start? Can I move forward?
Yes, ma'am.
You can give your comments on the chat box.
Yes, ma'am.
So the publication misconduct, in this presentation, we have studied like what is this topic, why it is important, what kind of publication misconduct could be possible, like how we can be understand it, हम इसको कैसे समझ सकते हैं, ये कैसे हमें impact करता है, not only to the a single person, as in society, as in person, as in system, how this could be impacting. Another one is as an academician, as in officials, as a person, as an responsible person of the society, what's your role, what's your responsibility. So we should know कि हमारे क्या क्या रोल हैं, जिससे कि हम उसको समझ सकें, एंड जिससे कि जो भी हम एक वर्क देना चाहते हैं सोसाइटी को, वो एक अच्छा वर्क हो. दैट मीन्स that is providing a solution to the society. Next, why means we need to understand this topic, how this could be impact to the society. Another one is what is its role? Role means like what's the technological role? See how the technology is impacting this and how with the advancement of the technology we can be understand this and how we can be minimize it. And the third one is next one is a case study. Case study like some recent and the prominent cases we are discussing here, and the last one is the credits, that is the references. So these are the outline, these are the snapshot of my presentation on the on these points I have discussing the this whole presentation. So like if I want to define the this publication misconduct. So the publication misconduct is basically like it is given by the different scientists, different persons in the different time scenario. But we are considering one definition like, and that on the basis of the US Office of the Research Integrity that give that if somebody is giving the fabricated information means उसमें हम डेटा को फैब्रिकेट कर दें, चेंज कर दें, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे रिजल्ट्स ठीक नहीं आ रहे एंड वी आर चेंजिंग इट, देन वी आर डूइंग द फैब्रिकेशन. सो falsification means we are providing the wrong information. Another plagiarism means we are sharing the copied information of someone. Another like reviewing the research, already existing work को हम लोग research को review करें, that could be the one reason. Another one is like what is the reporting research work means जो भी हम काम दे रहे हैं वो कितना authenticated है, so that all we are considering. Similarly like with some other person, that is Neil Simons, that he give that scientific misconduct is continuing, it's a process, and in that basically we are doing the fraud and we are basically giving the wrong information which is not correct. So by the different time of frame, the different definitions are evolved for the publication misconduct, and that is defining by the 7 major attributes, and these 7 major attributes are: first one is fabrication, next one is falsification, plagiarism, inappropriate authorship, duplicate submission and the multiple submissions, overlapping publications, and the salami publication. So these 7 are the major attributes, and on which we can be defined कि how we can be separate this publication misconduct. तो मतलब ये हुआ कि जो हमारा publication misconduct है वो हमारे इन 7 पैरामीटर्स के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. Fabrications means डेटा को हमने चेंज किया as per the requirement or as per to publish that work, not to the requirement, basically to publish the research work, and so that it could be showing a new and novel work which is practically not possible. Another one is falsification, that means हम गलत डेटा दे रहे हैं, we are providing the wrong information. Another one is plagiarism, that is we are copying the work of another person without any citations and then we are publishing that work. Next one is inappropriate authorship, means if you are not the part of that author of particular research paper, but what you are doing, you are sharing this information with the, like because of giving some concern to someone or to oblige to someone, or because of any kind of pressure you put the name of someone in your paper, so that is come into the inappropriate authorship. Duplicate submission and the multi submissions, that duplicate submissions, that means what we are doing, we are publishing the, we are sending the same paper to the different places, that is again also come into the category of publication misconduct. Reason, because once you submit a paper to the one place, that means it will taking that time as well as resources. So we are basically wasting those resources, which is wrong. And the next one is overlapping publications. Like आपने क्या किया, एक काम किया और उसको overlap करते चले गए. So that come into the category of overlapping of publication. And the last one is salami publication. That means what you are doing, that is कि आपने एक काम किया और उसको स्लाइसिंग कर दिया, मतलब उसको बहुत सारे पार्ट्स में करके पब्लिश कर दिया, जिससे कि आपके नंबर ऑफ पेपर्स इंक्रीज करते हैं. So that come into the salami publication. Is it clear? You can write on chat box if you have any doubt. If any doubt, you can write on chat box. Okay, thank you. Thank you for reply.
Clear, ma'am. Everyone is saying it is clear. Not out.
So the first topic is fabrication. So you can see here there is a symbol that showing somebody is welding somewhere. है ना, कुछ welding कर रहा है. The symbol is representing like. But
Ma'am, please. One student is saying कि salami publication के बारे में दोबारा बता.
just wait. I will be come to that point, beta. Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Yeah, I just come to that point, ma'am.
Okay.
So the fabrication, that means like you can see the symbol. There is somebody is welding somewhere. So what we can know, like if have any kind of work, then we can say it's a fabricators. Like if you want to add something, so you can see fabrication means if we go for the dictionary, Cambridge dictionary. So what it says, anything इन्वेंटिंग द फॉल्स इंफॉर्मेशन, मतलब कुछ भी हम जो गलत इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहे हैं, जो कि गलत है, एक्चुअल में वो इंफॉर्मेशन एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करती. So that come into the category of fabrication. So the fabrication means like what we are practicing, we are providing the wrong data, wrong information. So अगर हम इसको वापस से क्लासिफाई करते हैं कि fabrication, let's say my results are not up to the mark, but what I am doing to make it more novel, what I am doing, I just change the data, because if I want to publish the certain paper, so I need to draw the graphs. So those graphs should be in the with the I had made alteration in those data. So that come into the category of fabrication. And in that, the false data creation and the production of misleading data. Because एक तो डेटा, एक तो रिजल्ट्स वो आ नहीं रहे और आपने उसको क्रिएट किया है, मींस ऑल्टरेशन कर दिया है टू मेक इट novel from the already existing data. And if you remember, in the year of 2018, there is a big case of the Kolkata University where a professor is quoted on this, where he basically altered the images. So for that is again the case of the fabrication, where the image fabrication case is appears. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Okay. So now the next one is falsification. So again from the dictionary of Cambridge, if I can say, so the action of changing something, or such as a document, or decide, or in order to decisive people. So basically what I am doing, I am providing the wrong information in the sense which is not existing. So जब भी हम कोई गलत information दे रहे हैं, fake information, so that come into the category of the falsification. The next one, and what we are doing in the case of the falsification, we are basically practicing the changing the results or misleading the conclusion which we are concluded after the completion of certain results. तो जो हमारा result आ रहा है उसको हमने change कर रहे हैं. So that is by data manipulation and the data alteration. मतलब हमने क्या किया, data को manipulate कर दिया और डेटा को ऑल्टर कर दिया विद सर्टेन चेंजेस. So now the question is, what's the difference between a fabrication and the falsification? Because if you can say fabrication, that means what I am doing, I am basically changing the data. And the falsification, that means I'm providing the wrong information. Wrong conclusion is drawn from it. तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, wrong conclusion को हम उसमें से निकाल रहे हैं. That again come into the category of this falsification. So the next one is plagiarism. So plagiarism, like the process or the practice of using another person idea or work and present it's your own. Like what you are doing, कि किसी और के काम को हमने उसको प्रेजेंट कर दिया. You can see this diagram. There is an like there isn't some person in that there is a bulb is mentioned and somebody is want to take that bulb from there. So that basically showing ki the idea which is in someone other's mind or someone other's work, and that we are quoting as your own with the certain variations or which are not the correct variations. मतलब हम unethical कर रहे हैं, we are doing the wrong work, we are quoting the some other work as your own. So that come into the category of plagiarism. And in that we can be like if I am talking, if I say plagiarism, तो इसमें हमारे पास आएगा thoughts. मतलब like अगर हमने किसी के कोई भी वर्क को अगर हम कॉपी कर रहे हैं, उनके आइडिया को कॉपी कर रहे हैं, उनके डेटा को कॉपी करेंगे, किसी फिगर को कॉपी करेंगे, या फिर रिसर्च मेथड को, लाइक इफ समबडी इज वर्किंग ऑन let's say genetic algorithms or some other algorithm, and you are doing the same work with the same algorithms, that also come into the category of that, because you can do the work but with certain variations. You cannot be do the existing, you had rights to do but with certain changes or with certain referencing. Like you can be consider the work of that, you can reference that work, then you can be do that. And another one is not giving the appropriate credits. For example, as I said, if अगर किसी ने जेनेटिक एल्गोरिथम पे काम किया है और आपने उसके ही काम को आगे पब्लिश कर दिया है और आपने उसको क्रेडिट नहीं दिया, so that again come into the category of plagiarism. And over citations, like अगर हमने किसी के काम को साइट नहीं किया, that also come into this category. So if I say plagiarism, it's come into the like content, idea, कुछ भी novel work, and if it is come into the images, it come into the data, it comes into the different thoughts, different views, so that all come into the plagiarism. And in that, the plagiarism could be of direct plagiarism, it could be the Mosaic plagiarism, it could be the self plagiarism, or it could be the accidental plagiarism. These are the different categorization of the plagiarism. So if I say direct plagiarism means आपने word to word copy कर दिया किसी भी already existing work को without any attributions or without any quote mark. For example, if somebody said this is a there is a quote given by the some certain scientist or certain researcher or someone person, and you are not quoting that, so that come into the category of direct plagiarism. And for that, already there is a norms which are given by the governing authority. That's you can write those, but that come into the category of 10%. So you need to be, if that come into the category of 10%, that means you need to mention that कि आपने किसके काम को वहां पे कोट किया है, और अगर आपने कोट किया है तो आपको उसको बताना पड़ेगा, because if you are not quoting this, so that come into the unethical, which is academically dishonest, which is not correct. And उसके बेसिस पे आपके ऊपर डिसिप्लिनरी एक्शन भी हो सकता है. So that all come into the category of direct plagiarism. Another one is mosaic plagiarism, where what exactly it is, like if we are going through the process, like we had in research paper and then want to like इसमें प्लैग आ रहा है और आपको बोला जाता है कि इसको हटाना है, तो आप क्या करेंगे? व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, एक थंब रूल लगाते हैं कि भाई ठीक है, 3 वर्ड्स आते हैं, 3 वर्ड्स के बाद अगर आएगा तो फ्लैग आ जाएगा. सो व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, जस्ट यूज द सिनोनिम्स और वेरियस सॉफ्टवेयर्स आर यूज्ड फॉर दैट पर्पस. लाइक बट कई बार जब हम सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करते हैं, बिकॉज आज की डेट में टेक्नोलॉजी इज वेरी मच अपडेटेड, देयर लॉट ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर आर अवेलेबल which can be easily remove the plagiarism, but that could be create another issue, because once you go through those softwares, so that time sometime the meaning of the sentence is almost changed, because it is basically introducing the phrases, synonyms of the same similar sentences, and so that time come into this category, music plagiarism. And so like if somebody suggests you कि आपको plagiarism हटाना है, तो plagiarism हटाने के लिए आपको 3 वर्ड्स एक जगह से नहीं आने चाहिए, 3 के बाद जो 4th वर्ड होगा तो यू कैन चेंज दैट वर्ड, तो आपका plagiarism हट जाएगा, जो आज की डेट में बहुत बार ये प्रैक्टिस करते हैं. बट not to everyone, but some can do this task. So that time what we are doing, we need to be take care of this thing कि अगर आपको लिखना है तो you can code that and you can use your own language instead of just changing the sentence words कि आपने synonyms use कर लिया and then it could be, no, that's wrong. Another one is self plagiarism. Self plagiarism means like आपने किसी काम को, अपने किसी काम को पहले पब्लिश किया है और उसके बाद आपने फ्यूचर में उसको जब आपको लगा तो आपने उसको फिर से पब्लिश कर दिया डिफरेंट फॉर्मेट्स में जाके. लाइक वन वर्क इज ऑफ लेट्स से योर ग्रेजुएशन एंड देन आपने उसको उसके कुछ पार्ट को लेके अपने मास्टर्स में कर लिया और उसके बाद उसी वर्क को आगे एक्सटेंड किया. इफ यू आर एक्सटेंडिंग दैट वर्क, so that's not come into the self plagiarism. But if you can be taking the same piece of work and with a different format, then it come into the self plagiarism, which is wrong. And as per the government body, especially UGC, especially mention it that is not considered, and this will have the sometime serious consequences when you are in the academics. The next one is accidental plagiarism. Like you can see this diagram. There is something different want to in a image which is black and white. But in the third one, what you are doing, there is some different interpretations. What it exactly? Ki there is a bench, then there are 2 persons. So what in the next, what you are doing? कि उसमें change कर दिया and some different symbols use कर दिया, which is maximum time happen. So what it that also come into the accidental plagiarism, because what you are doing, you are neglecting the source, because the person who initially interpret that, ठीक है, you are not considering this, आपने उसके काम को consider नहीं किया and you had changed the sentences, words, different block diagrams use कर लिया, images use कर लिया, and then you can be represent. So that come into the accidental plagiarism. Is it clear? Hello.
Yes, ma'am, clear.
So the next one is authorship. So authorship means like if a person who has wrote a book, article, play, whatever, chapter, poetry, anything, any in any domain, anything, if a person is writing, so that name is authorship. So like if a person is writing a research paper, because we all who gathered here are the academia, either we are the research scholar or we are somewhere relating to content writing, or we are the part of the where we are having role as an author. So that means we have to know what it means, what it meant basically, like you had work lot of things, but what happened, instead of doing the like quoting the right person, what you are doing, you can make it, give the authority to someone else due to lot of reasons. That could be sometime because of some pressure, because of sometime um, because of like you want to give credit to someone, you want to had some obligations with someone. So that time, instead of actual author, the this part is that work is divided into the so many authors. You can see lot of papers which are having the like more than 10 or more than you can say uh, 10 authors. The reason being is sometimes this could be, but sometimes it is exit. This is required because if we are doing we are solving a particular problem. मतलब अगर हम एक social problem को solve करना चाहते हैं or any problem where we are working together with a group of different class, like if I had a problem and want to work on that, so sometime maybe some technical person are the part of my that team, some are my let's say a medical team, a commerce team, which are working with the markets. So the different persons, different group are involved. So that time the credit is need to give, but it doesn't mean the actual person get the credit of it. So we have to take that thing. तो हमें क्या करना है कि ओके 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 ओके, तो हमें क्या करना है कि हमने सारा जो भी हमारा वर्क है उसको इस तरीके से डिवाइड करना है कि क्रेडेंशियल्स जो भी हैं वो सबको मिले, लाइक जो भी उस पेपर में काम कर रहे हैं सबको उसका क्रेडिट मिले, बट द एक्चुअल पर्सन ऐसा ना हो कि जो एक्चुअल ऑथर है दैट नॉट गेट द क्रेडिट बट द रेस्ट कैन गेट द ऑल. So that could be the another point. Now the another one is like, as I said, that is inappropriate authorship. So the inappropriate authorship, as I said, what we are doing, we are giving the to the number of authors or the actual author, जो actual जो author है उनको उसका credit नहीं मिलता, तब हम इसको बोलते हैं inappropriate authorship. नेक्स्ट वन इज डुप्लीकेट सबमिशन और मल्टीपल सबमिशन. मतलब हमने क्या किया, एक रिसर्च वर्क को हमने 2 या 3 जगह और मल्टीपल प्लेसेस पे भेज दिया उसको पब्लिश होने के लिए. तो वहां पे क्या होगा, एंड वहां पे क्या किया कि कॉपीराइट किसी को नहीं दिया बट हमने उसको पब्लिकेशन, तो वहां पे लॉस क्या होगा, बिकॉज वंस यू वांट टू पब्लिश अ पेपर, जब भी हम एक पेपर को पब्लिश करना चाहते हैं तो हमारे पास बहुत सारे रिसोर्सेज उसमें वर्क करते हैं. अकेले एक पर्सन का काम नहीं होता है यहाँ पे, बिकॉज जब भी पेपर हमारा पब्लिश हो जाता है तो हम उस डोमेन के एक्सपर्ट जो होते हैं उनके पास वो पेपर भेजते हैं. एंड वंस वी सेंड द पेपर टू द डोमेन एक्सपर्ट्स, सो दैट मीन्स हमारे को ये पता होना चाहिए कि जो भी हमारा वर्क है वो ऑथेंटिक, बिकॉज जिस पे भी हम उसको इवेल्युएट करा रहे हैं दैट इज द एक्सपर्ट ऑफ दैट डोमेन. सो वी आर बेसिकली मिस यूज द रिसोर्सेज, हमारे जो रिसोर्सेज हैं हम उनको मिस यूज कर रहे हैं. तो ये हमने ध्यान रखना है कि जब भी हमें पेपर सबमिट करना है, वी हैड, बिकॉज इफ यू हैड अ गुड क्वालिटी जर्नल, अगर आप एक अच्छे क्वालिटी जर्नल में पब्लिश करना चाहते हैं तो हमारे को पब्लिकेशन में एक टाइम लगता है. तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, बिकॉज लास्ट मोमेंट पे जब भी आप भेजेंगे तो आप क्या चाहेंगे कि जल्दी से पब्लिश हो, जल्दी से रिजल्ट्स आ जाए. तो और आप ये एंड उस टाइम पे हम ये नहीं सोचते कि उसको बनाने में हमने इतना टाइम लिया. तो द पर्सन हु आर इवेल्युएटिंग इट, हु ऑथेंटिकेटेड, जो उसको देखेगा उसके काम को ऑथेंटिकेट करेगा, वो उसको किस बेसिस पे करेगा, तो वो हमें पता होना चाहिए. So now the next one is overlapping of the publication. Overlapping of publication means हमने क्या किया, 2 पेपर लिया, मतलब लाइक एक ऑथर के 2 पेपर्स, एंड उसमें देखा कि कंटेंट ओवरलैप कर रहा है. तो यू कैन सी हियर डायग्राम के अंदर आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा कि पहले हमने क्या किया, 2 पेपर्स लिया एंड उसमें से कुछ पार्ट नेक्स्ट में और फिर उसके बाद थर्ड के साथ ओवरलैप कर दिया. सो दैट इज बेसिकली कि वर्क को हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हम ओवरलैप करते जाए. ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग वर्क को अगर हम ओवरलैप करते हैं तो वहां पे क्या होगा कि हमारे रिसोर्सेज भी वेस्ट होते हैं. बट टू इंक्रीज द काउंट एज इन professional, as an academician, as an researcher, this is the wrong practice because this will create problem to the society. तो ये हमारे को एक मेजर इशू हो जाते हैं. So that's why we have to take care. हमें ये ध्यान रखना चाहिए. Now the come to the point, that is salami publication. I think somebody is asking you. So the salami publication that refers to the practice of slicing. मतलब हमने क्या किया कि अब ये देखो कि डायग्राम के अंदर एक there is a bulb और उसको 2 हिस्सों में तोड़ दिया. ठीक है, तो अब क्या करा है, तो ये जो हमें बताता है कि डायग्राम से दैट इज क्लियर कि हमने क्या किया, एक ही वर्क को हमने bifurcate कर दिया. That's I'm taking a case of my own domain, that I'm working in the microwave antennas. ठीक है, तो माइक्रोवेव एंटीनाज में अगर मैं डिजाइन करना चाहती हूँ तो मैं क्या करूंगी, मैंने अपने वर्क को क्या किया, सबसे पहले एक मटेरियल मैंने बोला कि आई वांट टू डू समथिंग न्यू बिकॉज ऑलरेडी डोमेन इज वेरी मच सैचुरेटेड एंड वहां पे जो काम है वो काफी हद तक सैचुरेट होता है बिकॉज द सर्टेन सेट ऑफ मटेरियल्स आर अवेलेबल. ठीक है, like I'm working on the FR4, these are some technical terms, and another is RT-Duride, these are the materials. ठीक है, तो अभी क्या किया, because these are existing in the market and the maximum person are working on that. So instead of taking that work, what I am doing, मैंने क्या किया, एक नया मटेरियल बनाया. So I am basically first designer, first make a material. I'm making a ceramic material. तो सबसे पहले मैंने एक सिरेमिक मटेरियल बना लिया and then I have make that test that one और उसके बाद मैंने उसको एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड यूज किया इन अ माइक्रोवेव इंजीनियरिंग. ठीक है, अभी क्या करते हैं कि मैंने उस वर्क को एक पेपर में, बिकॉज इट्स माई अ सिंगल वर्क, सो इंस्टेड ऑफ पब्लिशिंग इन अ सिंगल पेपर, व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, आई एम फैब्रिकेटिंग. मैं इसको अगर 3 हिस्सों में बांट देती हूँ. लाइक सबसे पहला काम, सबसे पहला पेपर आई हैव पब्लिश्ड एज इन कि इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ मटेरियल फैब्रिकेशन. तो सबसे पहले मैंने इसको मटेरियल बनाने के प्रोसेस के अंदर बनाया. सो आई कैन से दिस इज द वन पेपर. अनदर आई कैन से टेस्टिंग, मैंने जो भी मेरा मटेरियल बनाया उसकी टेस्टिंग किया, दैट इज अनदर पेपर. एंड द थर्ड वन इज द एप्लीकेशन, लाइक whatever application for which I am designing that, I am basically make that material. तो हमने उसको उस एप्लीकेशन को डिफाइन कर दिया. तो बेसिकली क्या हुआ, एक ही काम को 3 जगह डिवाइड कर दिया. ठीक है, सो दैट कम इनटू द सलामी पब्लिकेशन. आई होप इट्स क्लियर नाउ.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that come into the category of salami publication. So that is the wrong practice. Why it is wrong? Because I have designed a particular application based मटेरियल. ठीक है, क्यों चाहिए था, क्योंकि मुझे एक पर्टिकुलर एप्लीकेशन के लिए बनाना था. बट अभी हमने क्या किया, उसको डिवाइड कर दिया. सो बेसिकली जो वर्क था, बिकॉज दैट इज अ सिंगल वर्क, बट टू इंक्रीज माई पेपर, to increase my citation, what I am doing, I have मैंने इसको पूरा डिवाइड कर दिया, which is wrong. So that come into the category of the publication misconduct. So so these are my 7 major attributes of the publication misconduct. First one is my so first one is my, anyone can write on chat box what is the first my attribute. That is my first attribute is, पहला हमारा क्या था, because जो हमारा सलामी पब्लिकेशन है इसको हम 7 हिस्सों 7 भागों में बांट रहे हैं और 7 भागों में से सबसे पहला था हमारा, anyone can write on chat box. Yes, right, Savita, you are right, it's a salami, it's a fabrication. Next one is Navita, that's very good. Divya, very good. Another one is falsification. Perfect, Pooja, Supriya, Anjana, Jyoti, then it would be plagiarism. Right, right, Priya, right, Neeraj. And then it is further classified as four major category: direct plagiarism, then direct plagiarism, inappropriate authorship, okay, Mosaic, perfect, Jadeep, right, Manisha, right, Neeraj, good, good, good. And these are the publications. And then if I'm talking about these are the part of my plagiarism. So if I say part of this publication misconduct, then so the three parts we had uh, I get answer from the three part. Like सबसे पहला आपने बोला fabrication है, दूसरा हमारा falsification है, तीसरा आपने बोला plagiarism है, perfect. इसके बाद 7 पॉइंट्स है हमारे. Then inappropriate authorship, multiple submissions, perfect, Neeraj, perfect. Then yes, authorship, Anuj, perfect, Anuj. उसके सिवा सलामी पब्लिकेशंस आ जाएंगे एंड द ओवरलैपिंग, परफेक्ट, परफेक्ट, परफेक्ट. सो आफ्टर दैट, थैंक यू फॉर रेस्पॉन्डिंग बेटा. सो नाउ वी नीड टू चेक योर नॉलेज. ठीक है, अब हमें चेक करना है कि हमने जो पढ़ा है वो कितना ठीक पढ़ा है. ठीक है, तो मेरा क्वेश्चन है, मैं एक बार उसको रीड कर देती हूँ, आप लोग प्लीज उसको देखिएगा. द क्वेश्चन इज, यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग अ paper, ठीक है, that involves a complex concept, but you are having the difficulties putting into words precise how this concept works. You see an excellent example in your published paper. Is it okay to use this exam explanation words or words in your paper without referring to others paper? तो ये ठीक रहेगा या नहीं? I want answers from all of you in the chat box. No, okay. Reference is necessary. Perfect. No. Yes, we need to give the references to the right appropriate person. So we always need to give the references. Okay? Perfect. Thank you for responding. The next is, so next we need to check again as, let's somebody says, let's say we do not copy someone's original words for the words. Instead, you paraphrase it. Is it acceptable to use someone else concept, idea, description of an idea, but it is in your own words? तो ये ठीक रहेगा. आपने क्या किया, किसी और का काम था, ठीक है, लेकिन अब आपने क्या किया कि उसको अपने वर्ड्स में लिखा है. तो ये ठीक है कि नहीं है, या दोनों हो सकता है, ठीक भी हो सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है. यस, इट कुड बी एक्सेप्टेबल, बिकॉज यहाँ पे अगर आप किसी के वर्क को पैराफ्रेज कर रहे हैं, आप उसको एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं, सो समटाइम इट कुड बी यस विद द प्रॉपर रेफरेंसिंग, सो दैट टाइम इट कुड बी पॉसिबल. ठीक है, साइटेशंस मैंडेटरी है. परफेक्ट आंसर है लीना. The next one is, you plagiarized someone else's work and you were caught. What the like? What's the likely consequences? So, like, आपने the particle is retraced by the publication document explaining why. Then institute funding your research take the disciplinary action, could ask you to leave, or your judgment or reputation come into the question. So, which one is correct? Which one is correct? All the three could be possible, or yes, all are possible. So, these are the consequences if we are doing the wrong thing or misconduct, and misconduct in the publication part. Perfect, perfect. Thank you for responding. Very great audience, huh? So now the next one is, if as an researcher, as an academician, as an official, or as an author, what's my responsibility? So responsibility means you are always taking a job or a duty. And that duty, that doesn't mean कि that is only for the research related है, क्योंकि responsibility तो कैसे भी हो सकती है. Being an human being, we had responsibility towards our family. हमारी हमारी family की तरफ responsibility है. We are having responsibility towards the society. If you are working, तो हमारा हमारे ऑफिस की तरफ जहाँ भी हम वर्क करते हैं उसकी तरफ भी हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. तो वी ऑलवेज हैज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, बट as an academician, as a researcher, because you are publishing the work, and being in research, what we said, whatever is required in the next 10 years, not present, in the next 10 years, we are working on that. That is the research, that is the innovation. Because if we are searching now, and then when we are basically fabricating it, when we are designing it, so जब भी वो प्रोडक्ट की फॉर्म में आएगा तब तक तो बहुत टाइम चला जाएगा. तो जब भी रिसर्च का मतलब है कि हम जो भी कुछ बनाने वाले हैं वो अब से 10 साल के बाद यूज होगा. बट अगर हम इसको नहीं कर रहे तो दैट मीन्स वी आर डूइंग रॉन्ग, विच इज नॉट द रिसर्च. वो इनोवेशन नहीं होगा, नवाचार जिसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं वो नहीं होगा. सो नाउ द responsibility, that means as an author. तो as a author हमें पता, हेलो हेलो,
Yes, yes, ma'am, you are audible. I'm getting your
ओके ओके,
voice. Yes.
अच्छा. सो अगर घर की बात कर रहे हैं तो हमें पता होना चाहिए कि हमारी क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. जस्ट 1 minute. हेलो,
Yes, yes, ma'am, you are audible. I'm getting your
my
voice.
okay, and PPT is visible.
No, no, ma'am. PPT is not visible, ma'am.
Just 1 minute, let me see. I hope it's visible now.
No, ma'am, it is not visible till now. Yes, yes, now it is visible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So once I'm talking about responsibility, so responsibility means like responsibility as an author, responsibility as a reviewer, responsibility as an institution or a research organization, or as in publication house. So जब भी हम publication misconduct की बात करते हैं तो responsibility सिर्फ एक person की नहीं है. यहाँ पे जो responsibility है वो responsibility authors की भी है, क्योंकि आप लिख रहे हैं और आप क्या लिख रहे हैं, आप सोसाइटी को क्या दे रहे हैं, वो आपका एक मेजर रोल है. बिकॉज कहीं ना कहीं वट एवर यू आर गिविंग, that will come into the reflecting into the society. Another one is as a reviewer, like as a reviewer मैं आपके वर्क को कैसे साइट करूं, so that is the another work. Then as an institution, or as an organization, so that is the another one. And then we had the publication house responsibility. So that is the another case where the role of publication houses are come. So if I'm talking as an author, so as an author, that means if I am an author, then what is my responsibility? So as an author, that means what I am publishing and what exactly work I want to represent. So I had to ensure this, जो भी हम काम देने वाले हैं वो ओरिजिनल वर्क हो, वो किसी का कॉपी वर्क ना हो. आपने अगर किसी के वर्क को लिया है तो उसमें उसको साइट कीजिए, उसको कोट कीजिए एंड लास्ट में उसको रेफरेंसिंग में ऐड कर दीजिए. बिकॉज एज एन ऑथर दिस इज योर ड्यूटी to cite the someone work, so that all is possible, that all could be done. And another one is like originality, multiple publications नहीं होने चाहिए. Acknowledgement, अगर आपने किसी के काम को लिया है तो उसके सोर्स को जरूर एक्नॉलेज करना है. The next one is like authorship of the paper. Like for example I said पेपर में सिर्फ 2 लोगों ने ही प्रॉपरली काम किया है, बट यू आर गिविंग द ऑथरशिप टू द lot of person. Let's say someone you want to oblige, someone you want to make happy, and because of some like as a gift authorship, as an as a person you want to oblige someone because of the pressure of someone and you want to oblige, so that come into uh, the inappropriate authorship. So we are take care of the acknowledgement resource. Means like Kapil, acknowledgement resource means like once you are quoting the, you are taking the work of someone, so you need to be mentioned like which work you are quoting, कहाँ से आपने उसको लिया है, क्या उसका सोर्स है, citations basically. You need to cite that work, you need to specify that work. तो वो हमें यहाँ पे स्पेसिफाई करना होता है, क्योंकि जब तक आप उसको स्पेसिफाई नहीं करेंगे, बिकॉज दिस इफ यू आर एनहेंसिंग द समवन वर्क, तो आप क्या करेंगे, आप उसको इम्प्रूव कर रहे हैं. तो अगर आप इम्प्रूवमेंट कर रहे हैं तो वो इम्प्रूवमेंट कैसे नजर आएंगे, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी कितना काम हुआ है वो किसी को, वो एक रिव्यूअर को कैसे पता चलेगा. तो उसको बताने के लिए हम उसको कोड करेंगे, वी आर एक्नॉलेज दैट वर्क. तो हम उस सोर्स को बताएंगे. लाइक जब भी हम रिजल्ट्स को कंक्लूड करते हैं तो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, जो भी ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग वर्क है उसमें क्या क्या चेंजेस हो चुके हैं, दैट वी आर इनकॉर्पोरेटिंग. सो दैट कम इनटू द एक्नॉलेजमेंट. आई होप कपिल इट इज इट क्लियर? Can I move forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So next one is authorship. So give the authorship to the appropriate person, and the corresponding author is having the major role because he or she had responsibility to take up or take the actions as per the as per the requirement of the reviewer or as per the editor of the paper, editor of the journal in which one can share the, one can want to publish the paper. So that time the corresponding author play the major role because he or she need to be need to change, need to incorporate the changes if required by the editor end, or need to fulfilling the requirements. So that time the role of corresponding author is very much important. Another one is acknowledgement of the funding resource, funding sources. Funding source means, let's say if someone there's an a particular research work you had done with some organization who basically fund for you, funding, that give you the funding in terms of the like resources, provide resources, and आपको practical करने का वो दिया, आपको ऑप्शन दिया. एंड अनदर वन इज लाइक लैब्स यूज करने का आपको राइट्स दिए हैं. एंड फॉर एग्जांपल आपको कुछ केमिकल्स लाने थे एंड वो आपको लाने के लिए आपको फंड्स दिए गए. सो दैट ऑल कम इनटू द फंडिंग. तो आपको अगर कुछ भी वर्क करना है तो उसके लिए आपने जिससे भी हेल्प करी है वो हमें उसको एक्नॉलेज करना होता है. परविंदर, जस्ट corresponding author means like the person who is sending the paper to the journal. तो जो भी पेपर को सेंड करेगा corresponding author को, हमें वो देखना होता है. like let's say I am the corresponding author, so my responsibility is to publish the paper, but to send the paper to the journal, and I need to incorporate the changes which are required from the editor end. अगर editor end से कुछ changes required किए गए हैं तो वो हमें उसमें incorporate करना. So that all come into this category. Hello, hello. Now I am audible.
Yes, yes, ma'am. You are audible.
I think some technical issue, network issue.
Now your screen is visible, ma'am.
Okay.
जी.
So corresponding author, so he or she need to add the changes. I hope Parvinder it is clear to you now. Okay. And the acknowledgement, so the funding agency जहाँ से भी आपको फंड मिला है काम करने के लिए, तो आपको उसको ऐड करना पड़ेगा. Then disclosure and the conflict of interest, like if someone is taking the let's say disclosure and if you can see this presentation at the start of this presentation, I have mentioned the name, title, and then at the bottom I have mentioned it. The content is taken from the different websites, different pages. So that is the disclosure. Fine. So once you are you had uh, doing any work, or you are giving any presentation or any kind of things, and so that time you need to give the disclosure. See, this is taken from there. You need basically your citing, and if there is any conflict of interest, especially in the case of the medical, when we are doing with the any pharmaceutical or the medical work, so that time you need to be take care of this conflict of interest. And the next one is fundamental errors in the publication work, so that need to be take care. ठीक है, तो जो भी हमारे जो बेसिक एरर्स कई बार रह जाते हैं, तो वो एज एन ऑथर we had responsibility to take care of all these things. Now as a reviewer, so if I'm talking as a reviewer, so being a person, being a reviewer, my contribution is to peer review the work. Means it like we had to take care of the work should be original, there should be a novelty, and there should be a some proper citations of the work, that all could be is incorporated. Another one is, let's say some unqualified reviewers, तो वो चीज नहीं होनी चाहिए, because if we are not properly review a work, so that means that is basically come into the again come into the category of the publication misconduct. Another one is confidentiality. Like if you as a reviewer and you said it's a blind review or the peer review system, so that means it is not the partial, it is not the partial work, it is always fair. And if it is fair, so the confidentiality is very much important. Another one is acknowledgement of the resources. So like standards of objectivity. So standards of the objectivity, that is whatever the standards is followed by the general, so that is incorporated, because always standard procedures need to be follow as a reviewer, because the work which we are publishing is having the impact to the society, so that we can need to be incorporated. Acknowledgement of the resources. So the acknowledgement of resources, that means like whatever the work we are taking with the, we see the as an author the work they are presenting, they are either acknowledging the source properly or not. And the conflict of interest, like the sometime we are talking on the different platform, but that could be the conflict of interest. For maybe one can be agree with the conflict of interest, that means one group of the society, one group of the persons are agree with that thought, but maybe some other is not agree. So that means we are always take care of those points which are is a interest of a common man, a common person. Because if it is any, if there could be any kind of conflicts, that means if something is correct for me but that is wrong for someone else, so that will be come into the category of conflict of interest. I hope, Pooja, is it clear now? And Tanuja? Hello. Okay. So the next one is like organization, as in this, as in organization as an institution. So what are the responsibility? So as an institute, as a researcher, the responsibility is to the content. Like the content should be original. It should not be it not having the plagiarized work. It is the original work. It is always it should be always self declare, because as an author we always give the copyright. In copyright you had mentioned it is your original work. So that is the responsibility of an organization or the institution to take care of these things. Another, use of authorized and the licensed softwares to check the plagiarism, because आज की डेट में जहाँ पे टेक्नोलॉजी is easy for the everyone, but this will create problems also, because we are having lot of things in the web page, lot of softwares, lot of platforms are available, but which one is authenticated, which one is the better, which one is the right, that need to know. If you are not knowing this one is a correct, so that could be create the another problem. That is the big issue, because once you had having the lot of things in the lot of softwares, lot of things for the particular task, so that means you need to find the which one is right. So that is the roles of an organization or an institution, to find the either this is right or the wrong. The next one is ensuring the strict adherence to the policies. Like if an organization or an institution, they are having a certain set of policies to publish the work, to follow the certain guidelines, so they must be follow those guidelines in terms of the plagiarism check, in terms of the research work, in terms of the originality of the work, and in terms of uh, the the work which is published in what form. So that all is considered in it. So now the next role of the publication house. So in the case of the publication house, the major role is decision of the article, like what kind of articles you are publication, what kind of article you are publishing, like that is the whole sole decision of editor is having the major role, because if a journal is having a certain reputation, that somewhere depends on the editor, because as an editor, that he or she is having the responsibility to take care of the content which is publishing in a particular paper. So किसी भी जर्नल के अंदर क्या पब्लिश होने वाला है, दैट इज द उसमें एडिटर का बहुत ज्यादा रोल रहता है, बिकॉज he or she is a final person who comment on the who work with the members of the board of general, uh, in that they are decide कि this work could be possible. And the fair play means if we are having we if we had the certain number of the research paper, so we should always take care of the there should be a fairness, like which article is publishing, that should be fair, because sometimes that is also possible कि आपका वर्क बहुत अच्छा है, but somebody is having some pressure towards the editor कि भाई I need to oblige a certain person, so आप मेरे वर्क को पब्लिश करिए, this can be stopped. So that could be, because if we want to publish in a good reputed journal, so that time we are take care of these things as an editor, because if this is not fair, फेयर मीन्स आपने क्या किया कि आपके पास 10 आर्टिकल्स आए और आपको 9 पब्लिश करने हैं, तो आपने क्या किया, इंस्टेड ऑफ टेकिंग 8 एंड 1 आपने उसका ले लिया जिसने भी आपको बोला कि प्लीज आप इफ समबडी if editor want to oblige someone because of the any reason, so that time he or she can consider that one. Another one is confidentiality. So the confidential he should be maintained, he the paper which are publishing that should be properly पवन जैसा मैंने बोला कि fair play means like जो भी वर्क है आपको, फॉर एग्जांपल एक जर्नल के अंदर हमने 10 पेपर्स पब्लिश करने हैं, पर आपके पास पेपर ज्यादा है, तो आपने क्या किया, 10 बेस्ट की जगह आपने जिनको 2 को ऑब्लाइज करना था उन 2 को भी ऐड कर लिया और कोई भी 8 आपने वहां से ले लिया, सो दैट कम इनटू द कैटेगरी ऑफ फेयर प्ले। मतलब आपने क्या किया, एक्चुअल में जिन 10 को चांस मिलना चाहिए था उनको नहीं मिला, बट यू आर गिविंग चांस टू द 8 those but to those who want to oblige. So that's the role of editor, because last editor is the one person who decided कि क्या पेपर किस में पब्लिश होने वाला है, so that come into the category of fair play. I hope it's clear, Pawan. Okay, so Jyoti, that means like अगर हमने पेपर को पब्लिश करना है और वी वांट टू पब्लिश फॉर द लाइक having the restrictions to publish let's say 10 papers this month only, and want to oblige someone instead of actual 10 papers which are having good standards or as per the requirement of the editor, but we are considering the some other papers, okay? So that time we are basically to oblige someone, we are adding that, so that come into the publication fair play. Then confidentiality, that means we are take care of the these confidential matters, like where the paper is sent for the review, so that these all points should be take care and that should be confidentially maintained. Disclosure and the conflict of interest, this is again by the publication house is important, because they should be always, you once you submit a paper to the any journal, so they always ask you to copyright as well as disclosures and the conflict of interest if it involved in a particular research work. किसी भी नए वर्क के अंदर अगर disclosure and the conflict of interest होता है, so the always editor asks to the author in that sense. Another one is what impact to the जो ये publication misconduct है इसका impact क्या होगा. Impact in the sense like academic, if you are in the academics, you are in the teaching profession, um, you are in the teaching profession, so academics means आपका एकेडमिक सस्पेंशन हो सकता है, आपकी जॉब जा सकती है, आपकी इमेज इम्पैक्ट कर सकती है, बिकॉज वंस यू आर वर्किंग समवेयर यू हैड सम सोशल image, you had some responsibility towards the society, so image impact padega. Lack of innovation, because let's say you are working in a certain domain, तो आप अब उस पे काम नहीं करने वाले हैं, so that is a lack of innovation वहाँ हो जाएगा. brain drain हो सकता है, means let's say you want to work very good, but because of the wrong policies of the publication misconduct, you are not uh, happy with this all environment of the society, and you think of a particular country, so you are not, you said ki no, I am not be staying here, because here the all things are wrong, यहाँ पे सब गलत हो रहा है, so I'm shift somewhere in the country where the things are fair. So that's brain drain can also be possible. Another one is loss of economy, because once you go for any research work, so lot of things are involved, time, resources, a human resource, not resources, a human resource, which is the major one. And another one is time, which is one of the important one. So it is somewhere loss of economy, because कहीं ना कहीं ये जाके हमारी सोसाइटी को इम्पैक्ट करता है, जिसकी वजह से हमारे को इकोनॉमिकल लॉस होता है. उसके सिवा अनहेल्दी प्रैक्टिसेस, लाइक इफ वी आर नॉट practicing the healthy environment to publication of the research work, so that could be come into the unhealthy practices, and that could also have the legal issues. आपके ऊपर legal issues भी हो सकते हैं, because अभी मैं जो सुन रही थी, रितेश सर ने बहुत अच्छे से आप लोग को बताया कि क्या क्या लीगल इश्यूज हो सकते हैं एज एन पर्सन, कि अगर आप वर्क कर रहे हैं और उसके सिवा आपने जो भी मिसकंडक्ट्स हैं, अगर आप उसको फॉलो करते हैं एज एन पर्सन, अगर आप इफ यू वर्किंग समवेयर एंड यू आर नॉट एक्नॉलेजिंग टू योर वर्क प्लेस, सो दैट इज द रॉन्ग. So that time organization where you are working, that can take action against of you, so that come into the publication misconduct. Another one is if I say what could be the implications. So implications that could be the as an institution level, that is the allegations, assessment, inquiry, investigation हो सकता है. ऑफिशियल लेवल पे अगर मैं बात करूं तो एक आपके ऊपर एक रिव्यू किया जा सकता है, एक रिकमेंडेशन जा सकती है, आपके ऊपर चार्जेस सेटल किए जा सकते हैं. आप अगर आप लीगल पे चले जाएंगे तो हियरिंग होगी आपके अगेंस्ट, अगर कोई भी केस बनता है तो उस पर हियरिंग की जाएगी, उसके ऊपर अपील होगी, आपके ऊपर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्शन हो सकता है एज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. सो दैट ऑल कुड बी द possible as an person. These are the implications. So if you can see here, this image is showing something. You can see there is an iceberg, and that iceberg is ऊपर बहुत कम है और नीचे बहुत ज्यादा दिख रहा है. So anyone can be write on chat box what is basically want to explain us, what iceberg want to explain, because if we can see the data which is available uh, in the early available research, so that's showing that the public misconduct, this publication misconduct, that is very high in this. And you can see the thing which is actually existing and the things uh, which is showing us, that is a very much different, though those figures are not matched, there is a very high difference between both of them. The lot of fabrication work is available, lot of falsification of the data is available. So that iceberg is basically want to tell us ki the thing which is existing and the things which is representing as in different form. So these are the two different things. Um, Sonakshi, very good, beta. So now the what's the role of technology? So if I'm talking about the role of technology, the role of technology means with the different softwares, different open source platforms are available. बहुत सारे open source platforms available हैं plagiarism check करने के लिए, multiple publications check करने के लिए, and बहुत सारे database available हैं for the data, like data per se, for example, the data which is existing, तो वो हमारा overall impact करेगा. So database, because if we want to use a certain data, so certain databases are available, you can take data from that, that is free, that is open to use, but in that you can take that one, but you can acknowledge that part. So that is an plagiarism, so that we can check multiple publications, that we can check with the help of plagiarism. Even sometimes there are a lot of softwares which said they said ki they can remove the flag also. So that is the wrong practice. So technology is having the role, because one side you can say there is no plagiarism, multiple publications नहीं होने चाहिए, ठीक है, plagiarism नहीं होना चाहिए, but there are a lot of softwares are available which can say, they said कि you can, with the help of those softwares we can remove the flag. So that is the wrong practice. Another one is database, like if I want to do the certain practical experiments for the real time analysis, so instead of using the real time data you're creating the data, so that is a wrong practice. So now I come to my study. So the question number one I have given to you all. Uh, so the come to the end of my presentation almost. So the I hope I have 10 minutes more. So I have concluding. So the first one is first person. So anyone can guess or write your answers on the chat box. Who is he? He is a very renowned person. Like if you are very fond of to listen the news, आप न्यूज सुनने के अगर काफी uh, सुनते हैं, आपको अच्छा लगता है न्यूज सुनना, स्पेशली इंटरनेशनल न्यूज, तो आप इनको जरूर आइडेंटिफाई कर पाएंगे. So anyone can guess? Yes, Anshu, perfect. So Anshu, can you please tell why he is in news? So Priya, anyone can? He is a journalist. Perfect, Devya. So why he is in news? He is an Indian origin, Indian American journalist, and he is working with the CNN, and he is basically writing a post for the Washington Post, and for this as a freelancer. Perfect, perfect, perfect. But he is in the dispute in 2012 because he had write a article, and in that article he had a person that is Jelly Lopez. He that work is that he said ki there is some similarity in that case. So because of that he is in the news. He is a very renowned person, but because of this issue he is in the news. And can you know what reason he find? Because uh, once this allegation is on him in 20th August 2012. So for that time, uh, approximately for the 1 week, उनको वहां से resign करना पड़ा था. And then there is some inquiry on him, और उसके बाद उन्होंने उसको उसका reason find किया. So the reason one is कि the material उन्होंने जो cite किया उसको cite करना नहीं भूल गए, मतलब उसको cite नहीं किया, और रिपीटिशन ऑफ मटेरियल होगा. जो जेली थे उन्होंने अपने मटेरियल को बोला कि जो उनका मटेरियल उसको रिपीट किया गया है, साइटेशंस नहीं मिला रिसोर्स को. तो देखो कि मतलब हाउ द पब्लिक मिसकंडक्ट कैन बी प्रॉब्लम टू द a person, because a person who had having a good reputation, but because of this reason that person is basically उसका image impact करा, but that is for the less duration, but it could be. So we all always take care of the publication misconduct. It is impacting very much to the person as well as to the society, to the person, and दिस इज अ वन केस व्हेन द लाइक इनका जो केस था वो बहुत जल्दी सॉर्ट आउट हो गया, बट कई बार क्या होता है कि एलिगेशंस इतना ज्यादा होते हैं कि वो चीज के लिए आपको एक बहुत हेवी कॉस्ट पे करना पड़ जाता है. सो आई होप आई जस्ट कम टू द माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, दैट इज perfect answer, Anita. So the next one is the flag. So anyone can say that is the flag of Germany. Perfect. So why I am considering here in my this presentation? Anyone can tell why I am considering here? Okay, now come to please identify. Franziska Graffi. She is a German politician of Social Democratic Party, served as a minister of family affairs, senior citizen, women's and youth in the government of Chancellor Angelina Merkel from 2018 to 2012, 2021. Means till now, up to May. But now she is not. So now anyone can please tell why she is not, what's the reason, why we are considering this as a case study too? Anyone can please write in the chat box. Okay, don't know. So now come to this. She is in a news. Reason? Because and in the month of May 2021. Reason? Because she is having the allegation of the plagiarism in the dissertation submitted by her. And when? आपको पता 20 मतलब 2010 में इन्होंने अपनी डिसर्टेशन सबमिट करी थी फ्री यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ बर्लिन, और उसका इम्पैक्ट कब आया? अब कितने सालों के बाद? करीब 10 साल के बाद, 10 साल से भी ज्यादा. ठीक है, तो दैट मीन्स उसका इम्प्लीकेशंस क्या हुआ? ठीक है, उसका इम्प्लीकेशंस क्या? शी नीड टू रिजाइन, उनको अपनी जॉब से अपनी पोस्ट से रिजाइन करना पड़ा. क्या क्या था उनके जो प्लैगरिज्म कहाँ पे आया कि पार्शियल इंटेंशनली डिसेप्शंस आए, साइटिंग द 20 69 इंस्टेंसेस, मतलब हमने 69 बार चीजों को कोट किया, एक ही चीज को, और इनप्रॉपर एट्रीब्यूट्स, प्रॉपरली उसको हमने एट्रीब्यूट्स नहीं दिए. लाइक इफ somebody work, so that is not considered, so that could be the implications on her. So basically इसका इम्पैक्ट क्या आया इनके ऊपर? इम्पैक्ट ये आया कि she basically need to resign, suspension from the ministry, मतलब in a very good position, तो सस्पेंशन फ्रॉम द मिनिस्ट्री एज वेल एज रेपुटेशन जो हुई वो टर्निश हो गई, क्रेडिबिलिटी इश्यूज आ गए इनके ऊपर. सो दीज ऑल आर कम इनटू द publications misconduct. Another, I have asked one more question, that is the map. So can, if I am representing the wrong map, so is it come into the publication misconduct or not? Just answer me yes or no. Is wrong representation of map is come into the publication misconduct or not? Yes. Okay. Supriya. Anyone else? So what's the intention behind it? Intention could be to show a certain reason for the certain duration of time to be inferior. Like if you can see the map, not from till right now, I'm talking like around the टू टू डिकेड्स से पहले की बात है. like the map of Europe, that pretending big in comparison to the other. So what it basically, that's showing that, okay, that continent is very much big in comparison to other. So to make another to be inferior, that can become, but if you're quoting it, otherwise it not come into the publication misconduct. I hope it is clear to everyone. Is any doubt? These are the references I have used. And at the last, thank you very much to everyone for listening me. If any doubt, you may please ask.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much again, ma'am, for such a wonderful, innovative, participative lecture, ma'am. I feel myself empowered after listening you on this topic, ma'am. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, Rajrani, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Can I leave now?
Yes, ma'am, you can leave.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much again. Now, our third session will be hosted by Miss Seema, ma'am, Faculty of Law.